2025 will now commence. Please rise and join us in welcoming the procession of the court orderlies. The procession of the Honorable Judges and Judicial Commissioners of the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak. The procession of the Right Honourable Chief Justice of Malaysia, the Right Honourable President of the Court of Appeal of Malaysia, the Right Honourable Chief Judge of Malaya, the Right Honourable Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak. Please remain standing for the national anthem, Negaraku, the state anthem, Sarawak Ibu Pertiwiku, and Sabah Tanah Airku.
Bersatu dan
Please be seated. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to the court choir group, Scales of Harmony, led by Tuan Mason Jarolenyan bin Barayan, for their harmonious symphony. The group consists of the dedicated and talented staff of the Sarawak Court under the tutelage of their vocal teacher, Cikgu Muhammad Zul Zamri bin Hashim from Sekolah Kebangsaan Astana. We now would invite Tuan Saiful Bahari bin Azmi to lead the recitation of dua.
Let us begin with recitation of Kitab, Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the sustainer and the cherisher of the heavens and the earth. May the peace and mercy of Allah be upon His Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, companions and followers. Ya Allah, Ya Muhaiminu, Ya Aziz, Ya Jabbar, we stand before you today on this occasion of the opening of the legal year Sabah and Sarawak 2025. We humbly seek your guidance, mercy, and blessing as we commence another year of serving justice, upholding the rule of law, and safeguarding the rights of all. Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram, bestow upon us wisdom and understanding, fairness and integrity, and the strength to carry out our duties with sincerity and dedication. Guide the judges, prosecutors, lawyers, and all members of the legal fraternity to act justly, to speak truthfully, and to uphold the principle of justice with impartiality. O Allah, as we embark on this new legal year, we ask for your protection and blessing. Grant us good health, patience, and perseverance in our endeavors, that this year be a year of progress, fairness, and unity for all. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah, wa fil akhirati hasanah, wa qina azabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun alal mursalin, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Tuan, for the recitation of dua just now.
Hear ye, hear ye. Let all who have business before her ladyship, the Right Honourable Chief Justice Tun Tengku Maimun binti Tuan Mat, their lordships and their ladyships, draw near and give your attendance. My ladies and my lords, this is in the matter of the Sabah and Sarawak opening of legal year 2025 holden at KUCHING, Sarawak.
I now invite the Honorable Mr. Gubir Singh Sandhu, President of the Phuket Session of Sarawak, AAS, to deliver his speech.
the Right Honourable Tun Tengku Maimun binti Tuan Mat, Chief Justice of Malaysia, the Right Honourable Tan Sri Dato' Amar Abang Iskandar bin Abang Hashim, President of the Court of Appeal of Malaysia, the Right Honourable Tan Sri Abdul Rahman bin Sebli, the Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, the Right Honourable Dato' Sri Hasna binti Dato' Muhammad Hashim, Chief Judge of Malaya, the Honourable Dato' Muhammad Dusuki bin Mokhtar, Attorney General of Malaysia, the Honourable Judges of the Federal Court, the Honourable Dato' Haji Awang Sohaili bin Ledi, Chief Judge of the Sharia Courts, the Honourable Judges of the Court of Appeal, the Honourable Members of the Judicial Appointment Commission, the Honourable Judges and Judicial Commissioners of the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak and High Court of Malaya, retired judges, the Honourable Dato' Zamri bin Bakar, Chief Registrar of the Federal Court of Malaysia, the Honourable Dato' Sri Safri bin Ali, State Attorney General of Sarawak, the Honourable Dato' Brendan Keith Soh, State Attorney General of Sabah, my learned friend, the Honourable Mr. Muhammad Nazim bin Madarin, President of the Sabah Law Society, my learned friend, the Honourable Mr. Muhammad Ezri bin Abdul Wahab, the President of the Malaysian Bar, presidents and delegates from foreign bar associations and societies, registrars from the Chief Registrar's Office, heads and representatives of the federal and state departments and agencies, judicial and legal officers, fellow members of the bar, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and a warm welcome to all of you to this beautiful capital city of Sarawak. It is both an honor and a privilege for me to be upstanding before you today as the President of the Advocates Association of Sarawak to deliver this address. I would like to firstly extend my heartfelt greetings to my esteemed colleagues, Mr. Muhammad Ezri and Mr. Muhammad Nazim, for their presence in Sarawak today, and especially to our esteemed foreign guests from Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Brunei. Your presence here signifies the strong bonds of friendship and commitment to cooperation that we, as legal representatives, share across the border. Sarawak, as many of you have come to find, is a land rich in resources, vibrant culture, and diverse people. These are also the colors shared by the legal fraternity in Sarawak, and despite such differences, we are united by our shared commitment of upholding the rule of law and ensuring that justice prevails in every corner of our society. It is in this spirit of unity and collaboration that we come together with the judiciary, the legal officers, and all relevant stakeholders to observe the opening of the legal year of Sabah and Sarawak 2025. As we look around the world, we recognize the challenges that many legal systems face in an increasingly interconnected and globalized world. The exchange of ideas, practices, and experiences is crucial to our continued development as legal professionals. This is why gatherings like this are so important. They allow us to learn from one another, strengthen our ties, and collectively work towards advancing justice, human rights, and the rule of law. Here in Sarawak, we understand that our legal community is not isolated, but rather an integral part of the global legal landscape. This has been the direction taken by the association over the last few years to reach out and connect with the world in order to widen our horizons so that we may absorb legal knowledge, know-how, and skill to advance ourselves as advocates. This is an activity of utmost importance in view of the exclusive right of audience for Sarawak advocates to practice law in Sarawak, in tandem with Section 8 of the Advocates Ordinance and Article 161B of the Federal Constitution. This is a privilege that we zealously guard. As we come together at this significant occasion, it is essential that we reflect on a fundamental principle that binds us as a legal community, both locally and internationally. This is the rule of law. My ladies and my lords, our legal framework, which incorporates both national and state laws, provides a foundation for governance. The rule of law at its core ensures that everyone, regardless of their status or position, is subject to the law. It provides us with the crucial assurance that the law will be applied fairly, consistently, and most important, impartially. In Sarawak, we are reminded that the rule of law is not only enshrined in our national constitution, but is also reflected in our local customs, traditions, and practices. Our legal system is built on a strong foundation of respect for cultural diversity, recognizing that different communities have their own customary laws that coexist alongside the formal legal system. This harmonious balance allows us to maintain both legal order and respect for cultural fabric of our Sarawak people. In a rapidly changing world, the importance of upholding the rule of law has never been more critical. Globalization, technological advancement, and complex changes such as environmental protection, economic disparities, and human rights issues require us to maintain vigilance in our commitment to justice. Here in Sarawak, we are not immune to these challenges, especially in light of the high-geared development in the new economies the state government has moved Sarawak into. We are constantly navigating the complexities of managing natural resources, ensuring environmental sustainability, and addressing socio-economic inequalities, all while safeguarding the rights and freedoms of every individual. As advocates, we also find ourselves steering complex matters involving multinational organizations that have called Sarawak home. It is crucial that the rule of law is not merely a concept spoken of in legal circles, but a living, breathing principle that permeates all levels of society. This is where the legal community plays a central role. As legal professionals, we must be committed to ensuring access to justice, promoting legal literacy, and ensuring that the legal system is accessible to all, regardless of the background or socio-economic standing. To this end, I am pleased to record that our members' initiatives to provide access to justice has been compelling in 2024, where in total there were more than 1,800 criminal matters under the Legal Aid Department initiatives. I also record that all persons in Sarawak accused of capital punishment cases have been represented by an advocate, including all cases heard before the Federal Court, sitting in exercise of its revisionary powers made under Act 847. I believe that the statistics, if shared by the judiciary upon the address of Yang Ma'arif Tan Sri, would show that cases filed in Sarawak are moving along positively with limited backlog. At this juncture, I am also instructed to raise the association's hope that more High Court judges be appointed in the near future to take up existing vacancies in Sarawak. My ladies and my lords, on the part of the state government advancing rule of law, I report that the Ombudsman institution in Sarawak, made under the Premier's Department, plays a crucial role in ensuring accountability, transparency, and justice within our society in the realm of public authorities. In Sarawak, the Ombudsman serves as a crucial bridge between the government and the public. When a citizen feels that their rights have been violated or that they have been treated unfairly by public authorities, the Ombudsman provides a means to seek redress. This is especially important in a diverse society such as ours, where the interests of different communities coming from urban and rural areas must be carefully balanced and protected. The Ombudsman has an important role in investigating complaints and recommending remedies to help restore confidence by shedding light on potential wrongdoings or inefficiencies within public administration. While Sarawak has made significant strides in strengthening its governance frameworks, we must continue to focus on the enhancement and empowerment of the Ombudsman Office, ensuring that the Ombudsman investigations are effective, independent, and free from political or institutional influence. Moreover, public awareness of the Ombudsman role must be promoted so that more people are aware that an avenue is available for seeking justice and accountability when they are wronged by public authorities. My ladies and my lords, a strong legal framework ensures that laws are applied equally to all. Education, in turn, plays a vital role in fostering respect for the rule of law by equipping individuals with the knowledge and understanding of their legal rights and responsibilities. By promoting both legal literacy and a culture of respect for the law, education strengthens the foundations of good governance and a functioning democracy. At this juncture, I report that it was decided recently during a meeting with the Ministry of Higher Education that the moratorium for setting up a law school in Sarawak will be lifted. This gives the invaluable opportunity to one education institution to set up a law school here. Such news is definitely welcome by us in Sarawak. In such regards, I also applaud the significant development in the landscape of higher education in Sarawak, which is the abolition of the quota system for admission to our state universities. At this transformative moment in our education system, we will usher in a new era that is guided by meritocracy and fairness for all, regardless of race or religion. This significant shift will ensure that university admissions are now determined by academic performance, aptitude, and the potential a student demonstrates. By abolishing the quota system, we are sending a clear message that in Sarawak, we value the contributions of all communities, but that merit, rather than identity or background, should be the determining factor in assessing opportunities. Every student, regardless of their ethnicity, religion, or region, should feel empowered to pursue their dreams and aspirations based on their academic capabilities to be a contributing member of the society. My ladies and my lords, the rule of law and alternative dispute resolution are closely intertwined, as both aim to ensure fairness, justice, and efficient conflict resolution. ADR offers an effective mechanism to resolve conflicts outside traditional court proceedings. ADR also helps to reduce the burden on courts, promotes amicable resolutions, and often result in outcomes that are more tailored to the needs of parties involved. In fact, this is one of the only avenues where a win-win outcome can be achieved. By supporting the ADR, the rule of law is enforced, as it provides citizens with alternative means of assessing justice. In such regards, it is our hope that the state government move to set up an ADR center in Sarawak will be expedited in view of the proposed amendments to practice, which will mandate all cases to be set for mediation before the same proceeds for trial or hearing. This is, of course, a proposal that the association fully supports. My ladies and my lords, on to a matter of utmost importance to the future of Sarawak's legal ecosystem. This is the establishment of a law commission in our state. This is a step that promises to enhance the development of our laws, to strengthen our legal framework, and ensure that justice is served in an efficient, transparent, and equitable manner for all citizens of Sarawak. A law commission is an independent body tasked with reviewing, developing, and reforming the legal system of a jurisdiction. Its role is critical in ensuring that laws remain relevant, efficient, and responsive to the evolving needs of society. In essence, the Law Commission serves as an advisory body that works to improve the quality of legislation, ensuring that it reflects the values of the community and addresses all contemporary issues. The establishment of a Law Commission in Sarawak will provide us with the tools and framework to undertake such reviews and perform reforms in a structured and systematic manner. Sarawak, being one of the largest states in Malaysia, faces distinct challenges when it comes to legal development. While we operate within the framework of the Malaysian legal system, Sarawak also has its own specific set of legal needs and considerations, whether they relate to land rights, indigenous affairs, natural resources, or local governance. Many of these issues require tailored solutions that reflect the realities of our state. Many of our laws, especially those related to land and resource management, have their origins in colonial times or were drafted at a time where the socio-political landscape was vastly different. In fact, we are still relying on UK statutes in Sarawak for certain instances. As our society evolves, it is crucial that our laws evolve with it. The Law Commission will be tasked with conducting regular reviews of outdated laws, obsolete laws, recommending reforms where necessary, and providing advice on new areas of law that may be needed in the modern context. The establishment of a Law Commission would allow Sarawak to have an independent, professional body which is made up of relevant stakeholders dedicated to addressing these challenges. It would ensure that Sarawak's laws remain aligned with the needs of our people, particularly with respect to our indigenous communities, cultural heritage, and unique geographical concerns, including the directions being taken by the state government on ESG and AI, among others. The establishment of a Law Commission is not just a matter of administrative convenience. It is a fundamental step towards ensuring that our legal system remains dynamic, just, and responsive to the evolving needs of society. I call upon all legal professionals and the government to support this initiative, as it represents a collective effort to build a legal framework that reflects the values and aspirations of our people. Together, we can lay the foundation for a more just, equitable, and prosperous Sarawak, guided by the laws that are relevant, fair, and forward-thinking. My lords and my ladies, due to time constraints, I'm unable to address the ceremony today on the matters concerning Malaysia Agreement 1963. Nonetheless, I do wish to highlight our hopes that urgent steps be taken to make the necessary amendments to Article 122AB of the Federal Constitution to restore the powers of the head of state of Sarawak to appoint judicial commissioners. I do believe that my learned friend, the State Attorney General of Sarawak, Yang Arif Datuk Seri Safri bin Ali, will address the ceremony on other matters concerning MA 63 in his address. and thus I shall leave it to him to elaborate further. My ladies and my lords, the association records its appreciation to Mr. Muhammad Ezri for delivering the address on behalf of the association during the opening of the legal year 2025 in Putrajaya. My ladies and my lords, on a final note, I also have the honor today to bid farewell to the top 3 echelons of the judiciary, led by Yang Amarif Tun, whom have shaped the very foundation of our judicial system, whose leadership, wisdom, and unwavering commitment to justice have left an indelible mark on our nation. As we reflect on their long, extraordinary service to the nation, we are reminded of the integrity they embodied, the impartiality they upheld, and the countless contributions they made to ensuring that the rule of law remained the cornerstone of our democracy. Their decisions not only shaped the legal landscape, but also guided our society towards fairness and equality. Through their years of service, they have upheld the values of justice, dignity, and the protection of rights, always ensuring that the law serves the people and not the other way around. They have exemplified what it means to be true servants of the law, dispassionate and resolute. As they step away from their roles at the pinnacle of the judiciary in the coming months, we acknowledge the monumental impact they have had, not just within the courts, but on the very fabric of our nation. Their leadership has inspired countless individuals within the legal community and beyond, and their legacy will continue to influence and guide us for years to come. We thank them for their immense dedication and service. While their tenure may be ending, their contributions will forever be etched in the chronicles of our judiciary's history. We wish them all the best in their future endeavors, and may they continue to inspire as they move forward in their journeys. Let there be no doubt that you, Yang Marif Tun, and your esteemed colleagues have labored through your every fiber of your being to validate the trust the society had in your ability to be a wise and fair judge on every issue that came before the court. On behalf of the entire legal community in Sarawak, thank you for your devoted service to Malaysia, and I must say you are leaving your respective positions with exceptionally large boots to fill. I conclude by saying that the law is not static. It is our responsibility to ensure that it remains relevant and capable of safeguarding the rights of future generations. Concurrently, it is also our obligation as advocates to be equipped with the latest information and skills to advance such laws. As legal professionals, we have a duty to lead by example, to uphold the values of justice, fairness, and equality, and to remain steadfast in our commitment to the rule of law. My ladies and my lords, on behalf of the Advocates Association of Sarawak, we extend to your ladyship, your lordships, and all present here today warm wishes and prayers for good health, continuing wisdom, strength, and fortitude for the year ahead. My ladies and my lords, I am very much obliged. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gubir Singh. I now invite the Honorable Mr. Mohammed Nazim bin Madwarin, President of the Law Society SLS, to deliver his speech.
Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, the Right Honorable Datuk Sri Hasnah bin Datuk Muhammad Hashim, Chief Judge of Malaya, the Honorable Datuk Muhammad Dusuki bin Mukhtar, Attorney General of Malaysia, the Honorable Judges of the Federal Court, the Right Honorable Datuk Haji Awang Suhaili bin Ladi, Chief Judge of the Syari'i Court, Sarawak, the Honorable Judges of the Court of Appeal, the Honorable Members of the Judicial Appointment Commission, the Honorable Judges and Judicial Commissioners of the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak and High Court of Malaya, retired judges, the Honorable Datuk Zamri bin Bakar, Chief Registrar of the Federal Court of Malaysia, the Honorable Datuk Sri Safri bin Ali, State Attorney General of Sarawak, the Honorable Datuk Braden Keith So, State Attorney General of Sabah, the Honorable Datuk Sri J.C. Pong, Legal Counsel, Government of Sarawak, the Honorable Mr. Gurveer Singh Sandhu, Presidents of the Advocates Association of Sarawak, the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Ezri bin Abdul Wahab, President of the Malaysian Bar, Presidents and delegates from foreign bar associations, honorable academicians, registrars from the Chief Registrar's Office, heads and representatives of the federal and state departments and agencies, judicial and legal officers, members of the bar, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My lords, please allow me to give a short pantun 4 kerat. Ingin rasa memakan kari, kari cendawan, batang keladi. Girang rasa tidak terperi, bertemu yang arif, tuan-tuan dan rakan-rakan bijaksana yang baik budi. Today, as we open the legal year for 2025, the Sabah Law Society would like to take a moment to reflect on who we are and what we've achieved. The Sabah Law Society, established as a statutory body on 1st July 2017, has grown over the past 7 years into something far greater than just a bar. We are not 24,000 strong like our brothers in the Malaysian bar. We are not 1,000 plus strong to 2,000 like our brothers from the Sarawak bar. We are 861. We are small, but we are 861 strong, rooted in Sabah and ready for the world. This past year, SLS has proved that we are more than just legal practitioners. We are the voice of Sabah, and we've shown this through our unwavering commitment to the 40% suit. Let me be clear. The 40% suit is not just another legal case. It's a battle to enforce a constitutionally framed financial obligation owed by the federal government to Sabah. Our battles as the Sabah Law Society are fundamentally different from the battles fought by other bars in Malaysia. As I said earlier, we are not 24,000 strong. We are 861, and we keep it real. We fight for our state, and we fight for Sabahans. Our fight is rooted in a promise enshrined in the federal constitution that has yet to be fulfilled. We're not stirring the pot. This is not about seeking controversy, and it's not about seeking popularity. We Sabahans are 100% Malaysian, and our loyalty is to Malaysia. However, the 40% suit is 100% legit and 100% necessary legal action to ensure Sabah's rights in Malaysia are recognized and upheld. It's a fight for fairness, for justice, and for what is rightfully ours. It's a fight to ensure that Sabah receives its 40% share of the net revenue derived by the federal government from our state. My lords, the Sabah Bar has always been a reflection of the strength and diversity of Sabah itself. From its earliest days as the Sabah Law Association to its establishment as a statutory body, the Sabah Law Society, in 2017, our leadership and our membership has embodied the principle that dedication, vision, integrity transcends differences. Over the years, we have shown that what unites us is far greater than what sets us apart. Our ability to embrace others of diverse perspectives and approaches underscores our commitment to inclusivity and progress. This diversity is not just symbolic, but it strengthens us as a legal fraternity. It reminds us that the fight for justice must always reflect the breadth and depth of the community that we serve. Now, my lords, as an institution, we have grown and evolved. We grew up and we also grew teeth. There's a saying in Japanese which goes, Shonan wa ima senshin ni kawaru, which translates, the boy is now becoming a warrior. And this evolution is what enabled us to take on giants and fight battles, not knowing whether or not we will win to protect Sabah. When it comes to defending Sabah's rights, there's no backing down. It's serious business. We stand 10 toes in when we're standing on business. In the fight for Sabah rights, we're big steppers, with top-notch pros who bring the most, not the lesser. Because unlike other legal battles, Ours is not just about principle, but it's about delivering concrete results for the people of Sabah. Now, this is just more than litigation. It's advocacy, education, and asking the federal government to fulfill their constitutional obligations, fulfill the promises enshrined in the Constitution, because when a promise remains unfulfilled for decades, it's no longer an oversight. It is an injustice. My lords, jika kerbau dipegang pada talinya, manusia dipegang pada janjinya. We in Sabah hold on to that promise. This isn't just about us. It's about our children, our communities, and the future. We hope one day, when Sabah lawyers never back down. We believe that judicial independence and judicial power is the heart of constitutional supremacy. That is why by commencing the 40% suit in court, we are not merely seeking resolution for Sabah, but reaffirming the Constitution's supremacy. This is not just our duty as lawyers, but our responsibility to the people we serve. Now, while we are on the subject of Sabah's role within the Federation, it's important to note that our state has always supported the collective growth of Malaysia's judiciary. Sabah has a deep pool of talented legal minds who are ready and eager to contribute at the highest levels, including in national institutions like the Judicial Appointments Commission, JAC. We look forward to the day when we will see Sabahans in national institutions like the JAC and hope that more Sabahans will have opportunity to serve and contribute in ways that strengthen our federation while respecting the rich diversity of its people. My lords, one of the most significant milestones this year has been our progress towards introducing limited liability law partnership for Sabah lawyers. This modern legal structure is set to revolutionize how we practice law, ensuring our members are equipped to navigate the evolving demands of the profession. With LLLPs, lawyers in Sabah will benefit from limited liability, financial flexibility, encouragement of collaboration, and global alignment. This structure offers our members a secure, progressive platform to expand their practices while maintaining professional accountability. It ensures that Sabah lawyers are not just keeping up with the times, but leading the way in innovation and excellence. My lords, the work of the International Relations Subcommittee has firmly positioned Sabah on the global legal stage. The International Relations Subcommittee, led by our immediate past President, Dato' Roger Chin, who played a pivotal role in positioning Sabah on the global legal stage. In 2024, we reached new heights in international engagement. We hosted delegations from the Korean Bar, fostering meaningful exchange of ideas and opportunities. Our visits to to Japan and China opened doors for collaboration that extend beyond borders, introducing Sabah's legal expertise to the world and creating new opportunity for our members. Meanwhile, our Borneo Advocacy Training Center, BATC, has achieved major milestone by becoming an affiliate of the International Advocacy Training Council, IATC. This affiliation places us alongside some of the world's most prestigious legal institutions and has already resulted in BATC trainers conducting advocacy courses not just in Sabah, but also in Sarawak, Singapore, and Hong Kong. These achievements are more than just symbolic. They are foundation for real, lasting opportunities. Speaking of opportunities, my lord, Sabah's proximity to Ibu Kota Nusantara, Indonesia's new capital, further positions us to play a vital role in cross-border legal collaboration. With Sabah's unique ability to bridge cultures and our lawyers' language skills, we are poised to become indispensable partners in regional legal matters. We are no longer just 861 lawyers rooted in Sabah. We are 861 lawyers ready to serve the world, armed with skills, connections, and a vision for truly global Sabah legal fraternity. Sabah, strategically located along the 21st century maritime Silk Road, plays a significant role in China's Belt and Road Initiative. Our geographical position places it at the crossroads of major maritime trade routes, connecting East Asia, Southeast Asia, and beyond, making Sabah an integral part of the BRI's regional development framework. This position and its rich resources have attracted substantial Chinese investments, fostering economic growth and bilateral cooperation. As a crucial point on the Maritime Silk Road, Sabah has become an appealing destination for Chinese enterprises. The post-pandemic era has seen amplified investment with projects spanning high-end manufacturing, green energy, logistics, and transportation. Notably, the China-based KUCHING Group has invested nearly 3 billion ringgit in photovoltaic glass production line and silica sand mining and processing projects in Kota Kinabalu Industrial Park and Kudak. To further enhance Sabah's engagement in the BRI, the Sabah Law Society has proactively signed memorandum of understandings with the bar associations in China and Hong Kong, solidifying its commitment to cross-border legal collaboration. These MOUs position SLS as key legal partner in facilitating BRI-related projects, ensuring that legal frameworks are respected and that Sabah's interests are protected. My lords, our work doesn't stop at legal suits. The Sabah Law Society, through its various subcommittees, respectively has stepped up for those who are vulnerable and need us most. Through Suhakam training and establishment of our stateless task force, we've equipped ourselves to fight for the most vulnerable. We've brought the law to the people, whether through mobile courts in remote areas or through legal aid clinics in the heart of the city. This isn't charity, it's our duty, and we carry it out with pride and purpose because justice belongs to everyone. Meanwhile, my lords, the Native Customary Laws, Customs and Culture Subcommittee has continued its critical work on the law reforms to refine and strengthen Sabah's native legal framework. Through participation in 3 legal reform task forces under Sabah Native Affairs Council, we have contributed to finalizing the draft Native Court Enactment 2024. We have proposed reforms for the definition of native under the Interpretation Ordinance 1952 and enhanced the registration of Native Court advocates, ensuring qualified representation in the Native High Court and the Native Court of Appeal. These efforts highlight our commitment to preserving Sabah's unique cultural identity while ensuring its legal systems remain robust and relevant. My lords, in 2024, I declare that Sabah Law Society will prioritize upskilling and reskilling to our members to meet the demands of the fast-evolving legal landscape. I'm pleased to report that we have made significant strides toward that goals. We have organized over 21 CPD events in 2024 and delivered a total of 86 CPD points to our members. Importantly, the CPD subcommittee has ensured these opportunities are accessible to all members, including those in the remote areas, by leveraging virtual platforms and recording sessions for on-demand learning. Through these efforts, we are equipping our members with the tools they need, not just to adapt, but to lead. Also, my lords, at the 2024 OLY, we emphasized the urgent need to update Sabah's legal framework, pointing out that some of our laws no longer serve the realities of our growing state. Today, I'm proud to share that progress has been made. 2 critical enactments are expected to be tabled in the State Assembly by the first half of 2025 to address issues that have long hindered development: the Land Subsidiary Title Enactment 2025 and the Building Management Enactment. Land Subsidiary Title Enactment 2025 will replace the outdated 1972 enactment, introducing a more efficient process for land subsidiary title applications. This includes provisions for phase developments where applications can be submitted phase by phase instead of waiting for the completion of all phases. Meanwhile, the Building Management Enactment, a new law under the Ministry of Local Government and Housing, will address building management issues that have caused delays in development. Crucially, it will ensure that management corporations can be properly registered as soon as land titles are issued, expediting future development process. Sabah is also charting a bold course in renewable energy with the Sabah Energy Roadmap and Master Plan 2040 and the Sabah Renewable Energy Enactment 2024, aiming for 40% lagi, my lord, of renewable energy by 2030. These efforts align with initiatives like the BIM IAGA Renewable Energy Certificate System, placing Sabah at the heart of regional energy collaboration. These developments are testament to what can be achieved when everyone comes together to advocate for meaningful change. This is the power of progress. We identify issues, advocate for change, and work together. As we step to 2025, we will carry this momentum forward. The Sabah Law Society is more than a bar. We are a movement for justice and progress. We've proven that we are 861 strong, not just in numbers, but in resolve and action. We hope that 2025 will be the year that we rise even higher, we stand even taller, and we serve even better. Because when we stand together, we are unstoppable. Unstoppable. My lords, bunga seroja di atas para, jatuh ditimpa buah berangan. Andai kata tersilap bicara, kemaafan jua kami pohonkan. Happy New Year 2025, my lords. Much obliged.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Nazim Maduarin. I now invite the Honorable Datuk Seri Safri bin Ali, State Attorney General of Sarawak, to deliver his speech.
The rights Honorable Tun Tuanku Maimun binti Tuan Mat, Chief Justice of Malaysia and spouse, Yang Amat Berbahagia Datuk Haji Zamani bin Haji Ibrahim, the Right Honorable Tan Sri Datuk Ahmad Abang Iskandar bin Abang Hashim, President of the Court of Appeal Malaysia, the Right Honorable Tan Sri Abdul Rahman bin Sabli, the Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, the Right Honorable Datuk Sri Hasnah binti Datuk Muhammad Hashim, Chief Judge of Malaya, the Honorable Datuk Muhammad Dusuki bin Mokhtar, Attorney General of Malaysia, the Honorable Judges of the Federal Court, the Right Honorable Datuk Haji Awang Suhaili bin Lady, Chief Judge of the Syariah Court Sarawak, the Honorable Judges of the Court of Appeal, the Honorable Members of the Judicial Appointment Commission, the Honorable Judges and Judicial Commissioner of the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak and the High Court of Malaya, retired judges, the Honorable Dato' Zamri bin Bakar, Chief Registrar of the Federal Court of Malaysia, the Honorable Dato' Brandon Kitsoh, State Attorney General of Sabah, the Honorable Dato' Sri J.C. Fong, State Legal Advisor of Sarawak, the Honorable Mr. Gurveer Singh Sandhu, President of the Advocate Association of Sarawak, the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Nazim bin Maduarin, President of the Sabah Law Society, the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Azri bin Abdul Wahab, the Presidents of the Malaysian Bar, Presidents and Delegates from Foreign Bar Association, the Honorable Academician, Registrar from the Chief Registrar Office, heads and representatives of the Federal and State Departments and agencies, judicial and legal officers, members of the Bar, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I wish to convey my sincere appreciation to the Right Honorable Tan Sri Datuk Sri Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak and the Judiciary for inviting the Sarawak State Attorney General Chambers to participate and be given the opportunity to say a few words at the opening of the legal year Sabah and Sarawak 2025. It is indeed an honor for us to be given an opportunity to attend this time-honored tradition to reflect on the progress and contribution that we have made as participants in the legal system of the country. It is a great experience to be here again alongside our brothers and sisters of the legal fraternity to celebrate this opening of the legal year. And I hope and pray that 2025 is filled with endless possibilities and prosperity for the judiciary, the legal fraternity, and the people of Sabah and Sarawak. I'm happy to share few of our Chamber's accomplishments for the year 2024, particularly regarding the new legislation drafted by the chambers. In the year 2024, number of bills were passed by the Sarawak State Legislative Assembly during its sittings in May and November. I would like to highlight some of these new ordinances which have a profound impact on the Sarawak legal landscape. Sarawak Ports Authority Ordinance 2024. In 2024, Sarawak achieved a major milestone, especially in the port industry, with the enactment of the new Sarawak Ports Authority Ordinance 2024, repealing the Ports Authority Ordinance 1961, which has served us for over 6 decades. The new ordinance is a transformative piece of legislation designed to modernize the governance and operation of ports across Sarawak by introducing a new framework to streamline management, standardize policies, and enhance operational efficiency across all ports with the establishment of Sarawak Ports Authority as a centralized regulatory body overseeing the management and operation of the ports. The ordinance addresses critical areas of port governance, including corporatization, privatization, and enhanced service delivery. Through its licensing framework, it facilitates the transition of ports operation into corporate entities, fostering financial discipline and good corporate governance while enabling private sector's involvement to further drive innovation and competitiveness. This phased approach from interim operations to eventual privatization ensures a smooth transition that maintains high standard of service while embracing global best practices. The enactment of this ordinance is not merely a legislative success, but a testament to Sarawak's visions for the future. A vision that leverages Sarawak's strategic geographical location and abundant natural resources to build a competitive and sustainable port ecosystem. As we step into a new era of port governance, this ordinance will play a critical role in driving Sarawak's economic transformation and ensuring our readiness to meet the demands of a rapidly evolving global trade landscape. Sarawak Hydrogen Regulatory Framework. In 2024, Sarawak reached another milestone in its clean energy journey with the amendment to the Sarawak Distribution of Gas Ordinance 2016, making it the first in Malaysia to specifically regulate the activities and matters involving hydrogen in Sarawak. This forward-looking piece of legislation redefines the scope of the ordinance to include hydrogen as a regulated gas, addressing the unique requirement of this emerging energy resource. Aligned with its new initiative in promoting green and renewable energy, this legislative enhancement set the foundation for safe and efficient generation, storage, transportation, and utilization of hydrogen in Sarawak, a vital component of the global transition to cleaner energy system. Further, this legal framework is not only a response to the growing demand for green energy, but also a proactive measure to position Sarawak as a leader in the hydrogen economy. The establishment of comprehensive regulations demonstrates Sarawak's commitment to fostering a transparent, investor-friendly environment that encourages innovation and collaboration in clean energy development. As part of the legal fraternity in Sarawak, I'm proud to say that this legislative achievement is more than just a regulatory milestone. It is a bold declaration of Sarawak's vision for a sustainable future, as Sarawak is not only advancing its hydrogen ambitions through this amendment, but also inspiring confidence in its ability to lead the way toward a sustainable and resilient energy future. The initiative of Sarawak government towards promoting green energy and economy is further supported by the passing of the Natural Resources and Environment Ordinance 2024. This ordinance repealed the old legislation, the Natural Resources and Environment Ordinance Cap 84, 1950th edition, where it provides for better provision to conserve, manage, and enhance the environment and natural resources, control pollution, and other matters related to it. Further, this new ordinance allows Sarawak to implement the provision on scheduled waste and other provision in the Environmental Quality Act 1974 in phases, as agreed between the federal government and the Sarawak government under the Malaysia Agreement Act 1963 exercise. The passing of this ordinance demonstrates Sarawak's commitment to protecting and preserving its natural wealth as key driver of economic prosperity and a legacy sustainably for future generations. It also empowers Sarawak to determine its environmental policies by providing the necessary tool to build a resilient and equitable future as outlined in Sarawak Post-COVID-19 Development Strategy 2030. Malaysia Agreement 1963. Sarawak has made significant progress in claiming its rights under the MA63, such as reaffirming its status as an equal partner in the Malaysian Federation. In 2024, one of the most notable milestones is the historic transfer of the Bintulu Port from the federal government to the Sarawak government. This was accomplished through the passing of the Bintulu Port Authority Resolution Act 2024 and the declaration of an area within Bintulu District to be a Federal Port Repeal Act 2024 in Parliament. The State Attorney General Chambers extends its heartfelt gratitude to the federal government and the Federal Attorney General Chambers for their invaluable support in achieving this significant milestone. Their cooperation has been instrumental in advancing Sarawak's effort to reclaim its right under the MA63. SAGC remains steadfast and committed in its effort to safeguard this right as outlined in the Global Commission report, the IGC report, MA63, and the Federal Constitution. In this regard, I'm reminded by the decision of the Federal Court in the case of Datuk Haji Muhammad Tufail bin Mahmud and others versus Datuk Ting Chet Si, 209, where His Lordship Justice Tun Zaki, in his decision, emphasized the importance of the safeguards contained in the Global Commission report, the IGC reports, and the MA63. His Lordship highlighted that these safeguards and assurance were pivotal in securing Sarawak's agreement to participate in the formation of Malaysia. This recognition underscores the enduring significance of these safeguards, which continue to serve as a cornerstone in the protection of Sarawak rights and autonomy. In addition to a series of achievements mentioned earlier, the year 2024 also marked Sarawak emerged as a pioneer in carbon capture, utilization and storage (CCUS) initiative in Malaysia. Recognizing its potential as part of global player in reducing greenhouse gas emission and supporting the global transition to a low carbon economy, Sarawak leveraged its rich geological structure by identifying potential carbon storage sites within its territory, which are pertinent to the success of this initiative. Sarawak, underpinned by a strong legal framework, tailored to support the development and regulation to this transformative technology by enacting and amending the following legislation: the Land Code, the Land Carbon Storage Rule 2020-2022, the Natural Resources and Environment Control of Conveyance of Scheduled Gases Rules 2024, Environment Reduction of Greenhouse Gases Emission Flaring and Venting Rules 2024, and Environment Reduction of Greenhouse Gases Emission Qualification and Registration of Accredited External Auditors Rules 2024. This legislation provides a comprehensive regulatory framework, all-encompassing, to regulate the activities that involve carbon emission, the development of CCS facilities and storage sites, conveyance of carbon, its injection into the storage, up to the maintenance of the storage and liabilities of the licensee as well as the storage user. Sarawak is not only contributing by playing a significant role to combat the global issue on climate change, but also laying the foundation for a sustainable and resilient energy future. Close cooperation with the judiciary, federal agencies, and the Advocate Association of Sarawak. SAGC is deeply committed to fostering a close and collaborative working relationship with both judiciary and our counterparts at the Federal Attorney General Chambers, and I'm particularly proud that our Chamber's active participation and contribution through the initiatives such as the Legal Synergy Workshop. This workshop served as a platform for knowledge sharing and professional development, bringing together distinguished speakers from the judiciary and the Federal Attorney General Chambers to share their extensive expertise and insights. Their contribution, drawn from years of practice in their respective fields, play a vital role in equipping our officers with the latest knowledge and skills needed to excel in an ever-evolving legal landscape. Notably, we had the privilege of inviting Yang Arif Dr. Muhammad Johan Lee from the judiciary, whose extensive knowledge and experience in competition law and its policies in Malaysia have provided invaluable insights to the officers of our chambers. In addition, the chambers have collaborated with the Special Select Committee of Law Revision, which also includes the Advocate Association of Sarawak, in a comprehensive effort to review over 3,000 outdated laws in Malaysia. This initiative aims to ensure that the country legislation remains relevant, effective, and aligned with the current societal needs and developments. Before concluding my speech, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt congratulations to Yang Amat Arif Datuk Sri Hasnah Datuk Muhammad Hashim on her appointment as Chief Judge of Malaya, the third highest position in Malaysia's judiciary. This remarkable achievement reflects her distinguished judicial career and unwavering commitment in upholding the rule of law. Certainly, her leadership will enrich judiciary with her invaluable knowledge and experience. I also wish to commend the appointment of Datuk Muhammad Dusuki Mokhtar as the Malaysia's new Attorney General Chambers. Having served as the head of the Appellate and Trial Division in the Attorney General Chambers, Datuk Muhammad Dusuki brings a wealth of public service experience and proven leadership. His expertise positions him well to address the legal and constitutional challenges that lie ahead, building on the legacy of his predecessors. To conclude, I wish to assure the people of Sarawak and the State Attorney General Chambers remain steadfast in its commitment to a fair and legal and diligent administration of the law. We will continue to act professionally with unwavering dedication to uphold justice for the people of Sarawak. Finally, on behalf of my esteemed colleagues in the State Attorney General Chambers, I would like to convey our warmest New Year wishes to the Chief Justice, the Presidents of the Court of Appeal, Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, Chief Judge of Malaya, honorable judges, and all members of legal fraternity. May the year of 2025 bring good health, happiness, and success for everyone. Much obliged.
Thank you, Datuk Sri Safri. I now invite the Honorable Datuk Brandon Kitso, State General of Sabah, to deliver his speech.
The Right Honourable Tun Tengku Maimun binti Tuan Mat, Chief Justice of Malaysia, and spouse Yang Amat Berbahagia Datuk Haji Zamani bin Haji Ibrahim, the Right Honourable Tan Sri Datuk Amar Abang Iskandar bin Abang Hashim, President of the Court of Appeal of Malaysia, the Right Honourable Tan Sri Abdul Rahman bin Sebli, the Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, the Right Honourable Datuk Sri Hasna binti Datuk Muhammad Hashim, Chief Judge of Malaya, Honourable Datuk Muhammad Dusuki bin Mokhtar, Attorney General of Malaysia, Honourable Judges of the Federal Court, the Right Honourable Datuk Haji Awang Suhaili bin Ledi, Chief Judge of the Shari'i Court, Sarawak, the Honourable Judges of the Court of Appeal, the Honourable Members of the Judicial Appointments Commission, Honourable Judges and Judicial Commissioners of the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak and the High Court of Malaya, retired judges, the Honourable Datuk Zamri bin Bakar, the Chief Registrar of the Federal Court of Malaysia, the Honourable Datuk Sri Safri bin Ali, the State Attorney General of Sarawak, the Honourable Datuk Sri J.C. Fong, former State Attorney General of Sarawak and State Legal Advisor for the State Government of Sarawak, the Honourable Mr. Gurveer Singh Sandhu, President of the Advocates Association of Sarawak, the Honourable Mr. Muhammad Nazim bin Majurin, President of the Sabah Law Society, the Honourable Mr. Muhammad Ezri bin Abdul Wahab, the President of the Malaysian Bar, Presidents and delegates from foreign bar associations, Honourable academicians, registrars from the Chief Registrar's Office, heads and representatives of federal and state departments and agencies, judicial and legal officers, members of the bar, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the State Attorney General Chambers of Sabah, I wish to extend both our warmest salutations and commendations to everyone present for this joint opening of the legal year 2025 for Sabah and Sarawak, here in this fascinating city of Kuching, which retains much of its old world charm. This significant event is a distinct tradition for us all to collectively reflect on both the challenges and achievements of 2024, and at the same time, provide us with the opportunity to chart and record our ambitions for the year ahead. No opening of the legal year is complete without making reference to that time-honored and fundamental principle, the rule of law. The then Attorney General for England and Wales, the Right Honourable Victoria Prentice KC, sought to define the concept in 2023, and I quote, "The rule of law is the principle that the law applies to everyone, that no one is above the law, and, in particular, that the government must comply with the law and that power is not exercised arbitrarily. It requires that all persons have access to courts that are independent. These courts must resolve disputes objectively in accordance with legal principles, and laws should be accessible, intelligible, clear, and predictable." With that elucidation, we are reminded that we are all stakeholders in upholding the rule of law, both in our own right and in respectful relationship to one another, towards ensuring an effective framework of governance for our state and nation. Having that concept as a backdrop, I would like to highlight some of our legislative accomplishments for 2024, a key role of ours that resonates with the needs and expectations of the state government and the community at large. In line with the pressing global concerns on the energy trilemma, namely energy security, environmental sustainability, and energy equity, the state passed the Electricity Supply Act, the Renewable Energy Enactment, and the Ocean Thermal Energy Conversion Enactment, thus showcasing Sabah's commitment and autonomy over power and adaptation to the ever-evolving landscape of alternative energy. These laws not only provide a regulatory framework for diversifying our energy sources, but also pave the way for a more resilient future. Last year saw the repeal of the 2004 Sharia Courts enactment to be replaced with the 2024 version. This law introduced a 4-tier court system, culminating in a Sharia Supreme Court, amongst other progressive initiatives towards enhancing Sharia judicial efficiency, and to Noor Asya binti Muhammad Yusuf for her leadership, contributions, and dedication towards many of the Chamber's accomplishments in 2024. Late last year, we witnessed further legislative enhancements with amendments to the Parks Enactment 1984 and the Agricultural Produce Board Enactment 1981. The former introduced a comprehensive management plan and zoning framework for our treasured parks and nature reserves, reinforcing our commitment to conservation and sustainable development. The latter expanded the functions of the Agricultural Produce Board, strengthening enforcement provisions, ensuring the sector towards the food security needs of the state. Now, the laws passed in 2024 stand as a testament to our shared vision, a vision of progress that balances tradition with innovation, conservation with growth, and state autonomy with national unity. Society, the drafting initiatives are for fresh building management legislation, which will likely involve amendments to relevant existing laws. This will pave the way for the expedited issuance of subsidiary titles, the formation of management corporations with improved effectiveness, quality, and transparency in the creation of a regulatory role for a building commissioner. The working committee consists of key stakeholders and members of the Sabah Law Society. Their commitment has been resolute, for which I am grateful. In addition, the state sales tax law is targeted to be revamped. This is a major source of revenue for the state and is sought to be upgraded, strengthened, and streamlined to be more effective in ensuring that the collection of this revenue is accurate, uniform, cost-effective, and convenient. Another substantive drafting exercise will involve the native courts. Key areas of improvement will entail an expanded jurisdiction involving native customary law and adat, an enhanced court structure, together with formal mediation mechanisms and conflict resolution provisions for promoting amicable settlements in line with native customs. The objective is to enhance the recognition and the relevancy of this important traditional platform of dispute resolution into our modern era. At this juncture, allow me to announce that the state has agreed to support the administrative formation of a law reform advisory council to be chaired by Tan Sri David Wong, the former Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, together with a number of seasoned practitioners from the bar. The role will be to review the archaic and obsolete laws which require reform and to make recommendations for repeal, amendments, and fresh laws to reflect the current socio-economic and developmental needs of the state. In a similar vein of coordinating our roles for a common cause, the recently concluded 4th Borneo Colloquium on Environmental Justice, which was co-organized by the judiciary, led by the KK Working Group on Environment, WWF Malaysia, and our chambers. Now, this was the first time that we shared this responsibility, and I express my profound gratitude to the judiciary for involving us. May this be the start of many more collaborations between our respective institutions for the future. Related to environmental justice is the recent establishment of an enforcement and prosecution section within our chambers. I extend my gratitude to the Federal Attorney General for appointing 5 of our legal officers as deputy public prosecutors for the purposes of authorizing prosecution of state offenses. Although this is a small beginning, I'm hoping that we punch above our weight moving forward. Another significant part of our work involves the Malaysia Agreement, 1963. Now, much progress has already been reported, with 11 claims having been successfully resolved. Among them, the designation of the Public Works Department as a technical department which provides autonomy to the state, the handover of the regulatory role for electricity and gas to Sabah, and representation from both the states of Sabah and Sarawak to the Inland Revenue Board by way of an amendment to the IRB Act. There are still a number of critical matters pending, one of which is the pursuit of the 1/3 parliamentary seats from the Borneo states. This safeguard was recognized by our forefathers, informing Malaysia to give an assurance that the constitutional rights of the Borneo states could not be altered by a constitutional amendment without the support of the MPs from Sabah and Sarawak. When Singapore left the Federation, their 15 seats were not redistributed to the Borneo states. A 1/3 representation will also ensure that the Borneo states have a greater participation and say in Malaysia's future. We should perceive this issue through a nation-building lens, and with the support of the respective Attorney Generals, I am optimistic that with the continued discussions and political will, further progress on this issue will be made. At this juncture, allow me to share my thoughts on our role as the legal advisor to the state government. On the one hand, we ought to facilitate the government in achieving its policy agenda in accordance with the law, recognizing their democratic mandate. On the other hand, in carrying out our duties, we are mandated to provide objective, unbiased, and independent legal advice. Our role is to advise faithfully on the law and not permit political considerations from disrupting the advice. In this respect, we are obligated to advise the government whether something is legally defensible or not, as the case may be. This means that we have to be unyielding and pragmatic in giving our carefully considered advice. To this end, and given the confidentiality obligations, there are many instances where the legal officers of the chambers have advised on proposed government action, to which the general public will be unaware. Although largely unseen, in the greater scheme of things, we act as a crucial check within the government. In addition, we have that duty in any event to represent our client, the government, in court proceedings under all circumstances. Bearing in mind that we have an overriding duty to the court, in doing so we must present the facts and the law in a professional and a just manner. Today is an opportune time to remind ourselves of these responsibilities as we carry them forward for the year. I would like to say a few words about young Ahmed Arif Tun's speech at the opening of the legal year in Putrajaya on Wednesday. It reminded me of my privilege of speaking in a different capacity then at young Ahmed Arif Tun's elevation ceremony on the 17th of May, 2019. Back then, I had said at that significant event the following: notwithstanding your ladyship's even-handed but firm approach, attributes that will enable you to chart a level-headed course to overcome any obstacle, it would be amiss of me to not recognize the immense responsibilities and obligations that accompany this noble and lofty chair. Principally among these include the public confidence in the judiciary, which is paramount. Inextricably linked with this notion is its independence, both institutional and decisional. This essential concept and principle of our Constitution is not an end in itself, but is a means to achieving an end. That end being to secure an efficient, expeditious, and impartial delivery of justice. Let the recent celebrated federal court decision of Seminya Jaya be the cornerstone to achieving that purpose. Young Ahmed Arif Tun has reinforced that notion of constitutional supremacy, our rule of law. With a great sense of reverence, I am sure I am one of many who will say that the landmark cases young Ahmed Arif Tun has presided over will no doubt continue to leave inerasable precedents for the future of our legal fraternity and our nation. Thank you. Thank you, young Ahmed Arif Tun. Now, circling back to where I started, Victoria Prentice's successor and current Attorney General of England and Wales, the Right Honourable Richard Hermer KC, at his swearing-in ceremony at the Royal Courts of Justice said this, and I quote, "It is our job to speak truth to power. Sometimes we will get it wrong, and in their judgments, these courts will explain why, and we will seek to learn and do better. This is how our system works. It is, as Lord Bingham said, a cardinal feature of the modern democratic state and the cornerstone of the rule of law." With that, and on behalf of the State Attorney General Chambers of Sabah, I pledge the fullest support to the judiciary in the discharge of your constitutional responsibility to administer justice. Permit me to take the opportunity to congratulate the recent appointments and elevations from Sabah, namely the Honourable Justice Zaliha binti Muhammad Yusuf Khan as Judicial Commissioner and the Honourable Justice Datuk Ismail bin Ibrahim as Judge of the Court of Appeal. We wish them the very best in their appointments. In conclusion, here in Sarawak, it would only be apt for me to quote a pantun in Iban. Engkau bala menyadik, kita bergulai. Adat basah, anang dilupa. Atur diadil, atur dipandai. Ngambik kesanang, lantang hidup di dunia. Translated, together with our brothers and sisters, customs and traditions must not be forgotten. A wise and just system is the way, bringing peace and ease to life in this world. I wish everyone the very best for 2025. May we all accomplish our aspirations for this year in pursuit of our virtuous and legal duties. Thank you. Much obliged.
Thank you, Dato' Brandon Kitso. I now invite the Honorable Dato' Muhammad Dusuki bin Mokhtar, Attorney General of Malaysia, to deliver his speech.
May it please your honors, the Right Honorable Tun Tengku Maimun binti Tuan Mat, Chief Justice of Malaysia and spouse, Yang Amat Berbahagia Datuk Haji Zamani bin Haji Ibrahim, the Right Honorable Tan Sri Datuk Amar Abang Iskandar bin Abang Hashim, President of the Court of Appeal Malaysia, the Right Honorable Tan Sri Abdul Rahman bin Sebli, the Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, the Right Honorable Datuk Sri Hasnah binti Datuk Muhammad Hashim, Chief Judge of Malaya, the Honorable Judges of the Federal Court, the Right Honorable Datuk Haji Awan Shohaili bin Ledi, Chief Judge of the Syari'i Court, Sarawak, the Honorable Judges of the Court of Appeal, the Honorable Members of the Judicial Appointment Commission, the Honorable Judges and Judicial Commissioners of the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak and High Court of Malaya, retired judges, the Honorable Datuk Zamri bin Bakar, Chief Registrar of the Federal Court of Malaysia, the Honorable Datuk Sri Safri bin Ali, State Attorney General of Sarawak, the Honorable Datuk Brandon Keith Soh, State Attorney General of Sabah, the Honorable Datuk Sri J.C. Fong, Legal Counsel of the Government State of Sarawak, the Honorable Mr. Gurveer Singh Sandhu, President of the Advocates Association of Sarawak, the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Nazim bin Madwarin, President of the Sabah Law Society, the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Azri bin Abdul Wahab, President of the Malaysian Bar, President and delegates from foreign bar associations, the Honorable academicians, registrars from the Chief Registrar's Office, heads and representative of the federal and state departments and agencies, judicial and legal officers, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning and warm greetings and salam Malaysia Madani. It is with great respect and profound honor that I stand before you today as we gather to mark the opening of the legal year of Sabah and Sarawak 2025. This event is not only a celebration of our vital role in society, but also a moment to reflect on the progress of our legal system, the challenges we have faced and the path ahead. With that, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt appreciation to the members of Judiciary for this event and utmost gratitude for being part of this grandiose tradition. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to begin by acknowledging the immense contribution and achievements of AGC officers, which reflect on the sacrifices and the memories that have shaped our journey throughout the year of 2024. Amongst most notable highlights are as follows. Firstly, AGC have collaborated with the Ministry of Home Affairs to ensure that Constitution Amendment Bill 2024, which leads to the historic amendments of the Federal Constitution, among others, accorded equal rights to citizenship by operation of law for children born outside the Federation whose mothers were Malaysian citizens at the time of the children's birth. Secondly, AGC has successfully disposed all of the 1,056 applications fixed in the Federal Court since the coming into force of the revision of sentence of death and imprisonment for natural life temporary jurisdiction of the Federal Court, Act 2024 on 12 September 2023. Thirdly, AGC has played a major role in asserting Malaysia's position at the public hearings concerning the International Court of Justice advisory opinion on the legal consequences of Israel's policies and practices in the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem, at the Peace Palace in The Hague, Netherlands. Further, during the 62nd annual meeting of the ASEAN African Legal Consultative Organization, or ALCO, held in Bangkok, Thailand, several key topics were addressed, including its firm stance against Israel's violation of international law in the occupied Palestinian territories. Fourthly, in March 2024, the World Trade Organization, or WTO, panels had decided in favor of Malaysia in the case of the government of Malaysia against EU and several EU member states concerning palm oil and oil palm crop-based biofuels. And fifthly, AGC was also involved in the historic formulation and execution of the new public service circular called Sistem Saraan Perkhidmatan Awam SSPA to implement the new remuneration scheme for the public service. The law must not only be applied with wisdom, but with empathy and understanding for the unique needs of our people. One of the ways is by adjusting the law to be more human in its approach. That is by ensuring that the legal systems and processes reflect compassion, justice, and fairness while upholding human dignity and rights. The law should serve to protect and uplift individuals, especially those who are vulnerable or marginalized, rather than to be a tool of oppression or punishment. On 26 November 2024, prosecutors of AGC Sarawak visited Hospital Sentosa in Kuching, which is an eye-opening experience about the treatment for unsound mind. This experience helped the prosecutors to have better understanding on the procedure where accused is suspected to be of unsound mind under Section 342 of the CPC. AGC also believes the need to maintain healthy relationship with other law enforcement agencies. Hence, AGC Sabah had conducted an expectorate visit to Keningau District Police on 4th December 2024. A thorough discussion between PDRM and the Sabah prosecution team were held on issues concerning criminal investigation to ensure the investigation and prosecution proceed smoothly, fairly, and within the boundaries of the law. My lords, my ladies and gentlemen, over the past year, we have witnessed significant developments in the legal landscape. From advancement in technology and digital justice to our continuous efforts to improve access to legal services, we have shown resilience in adapting to the evolving needs of our society. The shift towards digital platforms has enabled us to continue serving the public while maintaining the integrity and accessibility of the judicial process. In this regard, aligned with the government digital transformations directive, AGC has developed an online system known as Module Daftar Kertas Siasatan or e-Daftar, and also Module e-Representasi or e-Rep. Apart from being environmentally friendly due to the paperless approach, digital case management systems allow for efficient tracking of cases from the initial investigation to the final verdict. These systems are equipped with alert features which will notify user through email should the time allocated for specific action be about to lapse or expire. e-Daftar is a system which enables enforcement agencies to register their criminal investigation papers online. As of early December 2024, this system has recorded over 400,000 investigation papers and is currently being used in 10 states, 161 agencies, and by 391 DPPs. e-Rep will replace the manual process for handling representation submitted by lawyers. Lawyers will be automatically notified through emails, and the status of reps can be checked online. Besides that, AGC has also embarked on the case decision reporting system or LKKI AGC. The LKKI AGC system, which can be accessed from any device or location, ensure that reports of the lower court decisions are sent to the appellate and trial division for further instruction to the prosecutors regarding the next course of action at the appellate level. Additionally, in striving to modernize our daily operations with digital advancements, the AGC, through our civil division, had also looked into ways to expedite and facilitate the consent of the AG under subsection 9(1) of the Government Proceedings Act to institute a suit in relation to a public, religious, social, or charitable trust in Peninsular Malaysia. Accordingly, we are pleased to share that we have successfully implemented online application via AGC's e-services portal for all requests related to the AG's consent under Section 9 of the said Act, starting from 1st August 2024, my lords, my ladies. In 2024, AGC celebrated warm memories and milestones, reflecting its rich history and ongoing commitment to legal service. Among the highlights were Persidangan Pegawai Undang-Undang 2034, which brought together 1,000 over agency legal officers from across the country, was successfully held in August 2024. Secondly, we had the inaugural AGC Coffee Book Table entitled Journey Through Time from Kuala Lumpur to Putrajaya was also launched at the conference, which showcased AGC's journey, its milestone, and its contribution to the nation's legal development. Thirdly, we have also made a strategic move to send legal attaches to key international institutions, namely the Permanent Mission of Malaysia to the United Nations, New York, and the Embassy of Malaysia in The Hague, Netherlands. Efforts are also underway to place our officers in the Office of the Permanent Representative of Malaysia to the WTO in Geneva, Switzerland. And lastly, the AGC has taken the initiative to engage with the community by holding the Kampung Angkat Madani program at Kampung Jilid 8, Mukim Bujang, Kuala Muda, Kedah, whereby the program exhibits the serious commitment of the Madani government to ensuring all walks of the rakyat would benefit from government development efforts. As we enter the new legal year, my lords, my lady, I am proud to share our plan in the coming year, 2025, including firstly, AGC is studying the need to establish the Appellate and Trial Division Unit for Sabah and Sarawak for criminal appeals with experienced and highly skilled deputy public prosecutors, taking into account all factors. We hope that in the coming year, prosecutors will engage in lifelong learning by attending workshops, embracing new experience and new technologies. Secondly, the full implementation of e-Daftar system to Sabah and Sarawak to ensure the smooth registration of investigation papers referred by all enforcement agencies to AGC. And lastly, my lords, my ladies, the relocation and upgrading of 7 district prosecutors' offices, including in Lahad Datu, Sabah, as an initiative to provide a convenient working environment for our officers across the state. I went to Lahad Datu a few times, my lord, my lady, to conduct series of discussion during the era of the intrusion from the Philippine intruders, those days, my lord, my lady. It was a very stunning experience, my lord, my lady. With that as my closing remarks, I would like to express my deepest appreciation to all those who have contributed to the development of legal profession in Sabah and Sarawak. Let us embrace the future with hope, confidence, and the unwavering belief that we are capable of achieving great things. Before I end my speech, please allow me to recite 2 passages of pantun or Malay poem, but not in Iban. I think in Sarawakian language. Maybe somebody will translate, especially Datuk Sri Safri. You can translate to me. Rindok ati berdagang di satok. Is that right? Kapekan serian membeli peti. Rindok ati berambih di sitok. Budi tak kurang kam tetap di hati. Wait, this is the best part. Lada putih ikan siakap. Yes, I know ikan siakap. Ayang kampung bikin opo. Cukup sudah saya bacakap. Terima kasih hino kopo.
Sabar.
Is that okay? Is that okay? Finally, I wish all members of the legal fraternity and everyone present today a happy new year. Thank you, and may the year ahead be one of the continued growth and success for the legal community in Sabah, Sarawak, and throughout Malaysia. Thank you. I oblige, Melody Malone.
Thank you, Datuk Muhammad Dasuki, Attorney General, Malaysia. The Right Honourable Tun Tengku Maimun binti Tuan Mat, Chief Justice of Malaysia and spouse, Yang Amat Berbahagia Datuk Haji Zamani bin Haji Ibrahim, the Right Honourable Tan Sri Datuk Amar Abang Iskandar bin Abang Hashim, President of the Court of Appeal, Malaysia, the Right Honourable Datuk Sri Hasna bin, the Honourable Datuk Muhammad Dasuki bin Mukhtar, Attorney General of Malaysia, Honourable Judges of the Federal Court, the Right Honourable Datuk Haji Awang Suhaili bin Ledi, Chief Judge of the Syari'i Court, Sarawak, Honorable Judges of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Members of the Judicial Appointments Commission, Honorable Judges and Judicial Commissioners of the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak and the High Court of Malaya, retired judges, the Honorable Datuk Zamri bin Bakar, Chief Registrar of the Federal Court of Malaysia, the Honorable Datuk Sri Safari bin Ali, State Attorney General of Sarawak, the Honorable Datuk Brandon Kit Soh, State Attorney General of Sabah, the Honorable Datuk Sri J.C. Fong, Legal Counsel for the Government of Sarawak, the Honorable Mr. Gobir Singh Sandhu, President of the Advocates Association of Sarawak, the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Nazim bin Madwarin, President of the Sabah Law Society, the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Azri bin Abdul Wahab, President of the Malaysian Bar, Presidents and delegates from foreign bar associations, Honorable academicians, registrars of the Chief Registrar's Office, heads and representatives of the federal and state departments and agencies, judicial and legal officers, members of the bar, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera and a very good morning. It gives me great pleasure to be here this morning for the opening of the Sarawak chapter of the legal year 2025. On behalf of the Malaysian judiciary in Sabah and Sarawak, I extend my warm welcome to every one of you, especially those who have traveled from afar to take part in this morning's event. For those from outside Sarawak, I hope you are having a good time in KUCHING, Sarawak, land of the Hornbills. To the right, Honorable the Chief Justice of Malaysia, Yang Amat Arif, Tun Tengku Maimun binti Tuan Mat and spouse, Yang Amat Bahagia Datuk Haji Zamani bin Haji Ibrahim, Yang Amat Arif Tan Sri Datuk Amar Abang Iskandar bin Abang Hashim, President of the Court of Appeal, and Yang Amat Arif Datuk Sri Hasnah binti Datuk Muhammad Hashim, Chief Judge of Malaya. Thank you for coming. It is an honor to have you with us here. To my learned sister Yang Amat Arif Datuk Sri Hasnah binti Datuk Muhammad Hashim, my heartiest congratulations on your recent appointment as the Chief Judge of Malaya. My congratulations also go to Yang Arif Datuk Haji Alwi bin Haji Abdul Wahab and Yang Arif Datuk Ismail bin Ibrahim on their recent appointments as judges of the Court of Appeal. A warm welcome to our new Judicial Commissioner, Yang Arif Puan Zaleha binti Muhammad Yusuf Pan, who is now stationed at the KUCHING High Court. I wish all of you the best as you embark on these new milestones in your career. I would also like to extend my heartiest congratulations to Yang Bahagia Datuk Mahathir Dasuki bin Mokhtar on his recent appointment as the Attorney General of Malaysia. Last, but by no means the least, congratulations to Yang Bahagia Datuk Brandon Kit Soh on his appointment as Attorney General, State of Sabah. During the opening of the legal year in Kota Kinabalu last year, I mentioned in my speech that my participation in the opening of the legal year 2024 was a walk down memory lane, recalling the first ever opening of the legal year that I attended in January 2009, barely 3 months after my appointment as Judicial Commissioner at the Kota Kinabalu High Court. That was 16 years ago. How time has passed us by. And here I am in KUCHING today, marking my final appearance as Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak at the opening of a legal year for the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak. I cannot ask for a better finale. Participating in my first opening of the legal year in Sabah in 2009 as a Judicial Commissioner, and now 16 years down the road, the last one in my own home state, Sarawak, and in my capacity as Chief Judge. Thank you. The proceedings this morning, therefore, holds a very special meaning in my career as a judge. Yang Amat Arif, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It has indeed been a privilege to serve as Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak. My heartfelt gratitude to Yang Amarif Tun CJ, my learned sister and brother judges, officers and staff of the Sabah and Sarawak courts for your unwavering support. For judges, officers and staff of the Sabah and Sarawak courts, much work remains to be done. Thank you for your steadfastness in upholding the rule of law and honoring your oaths of office. I have no doubt that you will continue to do so under the leadership of my predecessor. I congratulate the Attorney General's Chambers of Malaysia, the State Attorney General's Chambers of Sarawak and Sabah, as well as the President of the Advocates Association of Sarawak and the Sabah Law Society for their outstanding achievements over the past year. Thank you for your inspiring speeches delivered earlier. Additionally, I would like to take this moment to congratulate Mr. Gurveer Singh Sandhu on his re-election as President of the Advocates Association of Sarawak for the 24-26 term. I wish you every success. Mr. Nazim Madwarin, going by your inspiring speech, it seems that the Sabah Law Society has evolved into a congregation of samurai warriors. You have my best wishes, but here's a friendly word of caution with no disrespect intended. May you stay true to your promise, or else you risk committing seppuku, spelled as S-E-P-P-U-K-U. I do not have the heart to tell the audience what the Japanese word means in English. I will leave it to Mr. Google to provide the answer. As we enter 2025, it is important that we take time to reflect on events of the past year. While we celebrate our achievements, we must acknowledge that there is always plenty of room for improvement. I am privileged to have witnessed the launch of the Sentencing Guidelines Calculator for Wildlife Crime on 19 April 2024 at the Kota Kinabalu Court Complex. This milestone represents the culmination of years of dedicated effort beginning in 2017 under the guidance of my predecessors who plodded on despite the challenges posed by COVID-19. I have encapsulated the purpose of the sentencing guidelines into the acronym CAP, which stands for Consistency, Appropriateness, and Preservation. These guidelines are designed to ensure consistency in sentencing, provide a clear framework for determining suitable penalties, and support the conservation and preservation of wildlife, which thankfully is still in abundance in Sabah and Sarawak. In the face of rapid societal growth, it is crucial for the judiciary to remain relevant and embrace the latest technological advancement. I have been informed that the next phase of development involves collection of data on sentences using the Sentencing Guidelines Calculator. Based on our projection, this data collection will be completed by the end of 2026, and hopefully in 2027, artificial intelligence or AI will be integrated into the Sentencing Guidelines Calculator for wildlife crime. As I emphasized in my speech at the opening of the legal year for Sabah and Sarawak in Kota Kinabalu last year, the technology that we have requires continuous monitoring and improvement to ensure that they remain secure, convenient, and reliable for all stakeholders. We welcome constructive feedback from all parties on the effectiveness and efficacy of the system. In February 2024, we had the privilege of engaging with the school children of SK Bundu Tuhan in the district of Ranau, Sabah. We were honored to have with us during the trip Yang Amarif, the Chief Justice, Yang Amarif, President of the Court of Appeal, and Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Muhammad Zabidin bin Muhammad Diah, who was then the Chief Judge of Malaya. I must take this opportunity to congratulate our Chief Justice and her spouse, along with Datuk Zamri bin Haji Bakar, the Chief Registrar of the Federal Court, and the group of officers who successfully reached the peak of Mount Kinabalu in February last year. While it took longer for me to reach the peak, there is one life lesson that I should perhaps share with you. Sometimes it is not about how fast we go, but how determined we are in achieving our goals. I am sure you will agree with me that it would be expecting too much of a 65-year-old man like me to reach the summit in record time. Conquering the peak of the mystic mountain by someone who has zero climbing experience is no easy feat. It requires preparation, determination, and perseverance, not to mention perspiration. Siapa yang tidak percaya apa yang cakap tadi, kau cubalah kalau kau mau. Kalau kau berani. For those who have never been to the land below the wind, let me educate you that Sabahan do not normally use the word awak or kamu when communicating with you. It is always kau bah. It is spelled as K-A-U and not cow as kopi cow. They will address you as cow, no matter if you are a Tun or a Tan Sri. So don't get offended, Tun, if someone in the street calls you a cow. It is Sabahan's polite way of addressing you. I recall a story told by the former Chief Justice Tun Richard Malanjun, himself a Sabahan. At Tan Sri at the time, he was attending a function in Hong Kong and was addressed as Mr. Tan. They must have thought he was a Chinese. Coming back to Mount Kinabalu, I must say in all humility and subject to contradiction by anyone in this hall, I have reasonable grounds to believe that I may just be the luckiest 65-year-old dude in the whole of Sabah and Sarawak to have set foot on the summit without even a single day of training. I am told that ideally you need at least a month of physical training before you attempt the climb. So to those who are in the swinging 60s and beyond, please don't follow my footsteps. It is a dangerous precedent for sure. Obviously, overconfidence and sheer ignorance of the formidable nature of the mountain had gotten the better of me. Fortunately for me, all's well that ended well. Although it took me 3 days to recover from muscle pain, especially at my legs. I could hardly walk the morning after, and when I did, I could only move sideways. Like a crab, macam ketambah. My gut feeling is that Yang Amat Irif Tun CJ had the same crab-like experience. But she's keeping very quiet about it. On a more serious note, I must place on record my appreciation to the court officers, one of whom I must mention, Puan Cindy Makjud of the Kota Kinabalu High Court, and rangers of the Sabah Parks who guided, supported, and gave us encouragement throughout the ascent and descent. I consider myself as fortunate that during my tenure as Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, I witnessed unity and strong bond among officers and staff of the Sabah and Sarawak Court, so evident during the Borneo Games 2024 held in Kuching last September. It was sheer joy for me to see them supporting and cheering each other on throughout the sports event, in the true spirit of sportsmanship. Well done, Sabah and Sarawak. Keep it that way. I'm also proud to see that the mobile court programs and the circuit sittings across Sabah and Sarawak continue to thrive in 2024. I thank the federal government for financing the programs through the 2025 budget. I commend judges and court officers who have shown total dedication in implementing the programs, not just last year, but over the years. Remember that access to justice needs to be extended beyond the walls of our court buildings and the comforts of our chambers. During the opening of the legal year in Putrajaya last year, the Right Honourable the Chief Justice of Malaysia, Yang Arif Tun Tunku Maimun binti Tuan Mat, emphasized the importance of mediation and encouraged all judges and officers within the Malaysian judiciary to embrace court-annexed mediation, or CAM, as one of the modes of alternative dispute resolution. The leadership stressed that mediation has become essential in managing the court's caseload, stating that, quote, hearing of cases via trial must be the last resort, close quote. Her leadership further urged judges not to hesitate in utilizing the mediation process and elaborated on the judiciary's perspective as follows, I quote, additionally, judges must also be part of the mediation process, sitting as the mediator, and should not shy away from the process. This is because judges are in the best position to persuade parties to resolve their dispute amicably by means of facilitative and/or evaluative mediation. The Court-Annexed Mediation Committee is tasked to oversee the implementation of the same. Unlike other countries such as in England and Wales, there is presently no requirement for parties to undergo mediation prior to commencing an action in the Malaysian courts. As such, the judiciary strongly feels that the time has arrived to consider the implementation of pre-action mediation through pre-action mediation protocols. Towards this end, the Court-Annexed Mediation Committee is further tasked to study and revert on the same soon as possible. This should include requisite proposals on amendments to the relevant statute and/or rules. Close quote. In line with this vision, the Managing Judge of CAM, Yang Arif Datuk Lim Chong Fong, issued a letter on 31st July 2024 outlining the key performance indicators, KPIs, for all High Court judges, judicial commissioners, and officers in managing mediation cases. We welcome this development. I am grateful to Yang Arif Datuk Lim Chong Fong for taking the time to travel to Kota Kinabalu on 25th November last year to share his valuable insights on CAM. It is my hope that more refresher courses on CAM will be conducted in Sabah and Sarawak this year and the years to come. Law goes beyond law books. It has the power to mend broken or burnt bridges. CAM, for good measure, is an excellent mode of reconciliation process, helping parties to look beyond their legal rights and to find the way forward. It can also help preserve business relationships. This can only be achieved when judges and judicial officers are properly equipped, not just to address the rights of the parties, but also to address their concerns. I am pleased to learn that both the Borneo International Center for Arbitration and Mediation, or BICAM, BICM, and the Sarawak Institute of Arbitration and Dispute Resolution, SIADR, have been working diligently to provide courses related to alternative dispute resolutions, ADR. I am grateful that our judges and officers have had the opportunity to attend these courses. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate Yang Bahagia Datuk Yu Jengki, a former Court of Appeal judge, on her new role as the chairperson of SIADR. I encourage all judges, officers, and all in the legal fraternity to equip themselves with the knowledge of ADR laws and regulations. The adoption of ADR in recent times reflects the industries, especially in construction, the need for a pragmatic and constructive approach to resolving disputes. Courts should perhaps be seen as the last resort for dispute resolution. It is my sincere hope that both BICAM and SIADR will continue to cultivate a conducive environment for resolving commercial disputes efficiently and cost-effectively. In addition to the courses organized by the Judicial Academy of Malaysia for judges and judicial commissioners, judges and officers are encouraged to participate in other legal courses to stay updated on the latest developments of the law. I am pleased to learn that the judges have been actively participating in knowledge-sharing activities throughout 2024. These platforms provide valuable opportunities for judges and officers to exchange ideas with other participants in an interactive environment. I hope such initiatives will continue in 2025. I must thank judges who have taken time out of their busy schedules to share their areas of expertise with members of the legal fraternity. Tomorrow, Yang Arif Professor Dr. Muhammad Johan Lee Kian Hao will be delivering a talk at the National Symposium on Islamic Banking, while Yang Arif Datuk Lim Hock Lang, Yang Arif Tuan Wong Siang Tung, and Yang Arif Tuan Leonard David Shim will share their insights on civil litigation. Thank you, Yang Arif. Yang Arif. Numerous activities were organized by the Sabah and Sarawak courts throughout 2024, and while time does not permit me to mention them all, it suffices to say that 2024 had been a truly fulfilling year for the judiciary in Sabah and Sarawak. Allow me now to trouble you with the performance of the Sabah and Sarawak courts over the past year. In 2024, the High Court of Sabah disposed of 76% of the registered civil cases and 65.2% of criminal cases, while in Sarawak, the High Court disposed of 73% of the registered civil cases and 49% of the criminal cases. In the Sessions Court of Sabah, 77.2% of registered civil cases and 82.96% of criminal cases were disposed of last year. In the Sessions Court, Sarawak, 69.78% of registered civil cases and 81.23% of criminal cases were disposed of. As for the Magistrates Courts in Sabah, 81.13% of civil cases and 92.56% of criminal cases were disposed of. In the Magistrates Court in Sarawak, 83.65% of the registered civil cases and 92.67% of criminal cases were disposed. This percentage of disposed of cases include those carried over from the previous years. To drive continuous improvement, our focus is on specific areas of enhancement. To achieve this, I have reminded all judges, judicial commissioners, and officers to closely monitor the progress of their cases. While it may not be possible in some instances to resolve cases within the timelines due to factors beyond the court's control, there are other areas where we can improve to ensure a more efficient way of disposing the cases without compromising on justice and fair play. Pre-trial case management, for instance, is a key factor that we must continuously work on to facilitate the smooth and expeditious disposal of cases. I am also taking this opportunity to urge all judges, judicial commissioners, and court officers in Sabah and Sarawak to deliver their grounds of decision in a timely and expeditious manner. Do remember that reasons for our decisions is our fundamental duty as judge or judicial officer. Decisions without reasons are nothing more than empty shells, hard on the outside but nothing inside. To my brother and sister judges and court officers, my parting advice to you is to always administer justice without fear or favor, not just in words but in deed. To members of the legal fraternity, remember that as officers of the court, you too play a vital role in the administration of justice. As Datuk Muhammad Dusuki bin Mokhtar aptly mentioned in his speech, court law must not only be applied with wisdom, but with empathy and understanding for the unique needs of our people, close quote. On my part, I would encourage you to adhere to 4 principles which can be short formed as WISE. W for wisdom, I for integrity, S for self-discipline, E for empathy. Wisdom involves the ability to apply knowledge and experience in arriving at fair and just decision. For legal practitioners, it is not merely about following precedents, especially when drafting claims. It is also about understanding your client's concerns, staying updated on legal developments, and applying the law accordingly. Integrity is the foundation of the administration of justice, ensuring that the decisions are made with fairness, free from bias and external influences. Judges, lawyers, and all legal professionals must act with integrity by applying the law impartially, avoiding conflicts of interest, and ensuring that personal or external factors do not cloud your judgment. This also means adhering strictly to ethical standards, such as maintaining confidentiality and avoiding any form of corruption. Self-discipline is the ability to control one's emotion, impulses, and behavior in administering justice. It also requires punctuality in courts for judges, judicial commissioners, and legal practitioners alike. My advice is for you to take the court's time seriously and to respect proceedings. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. In administering justice, it is essential to recognize the human aspect of individuals involved in the legal process. The outreach programs and the mobile court initiatives that we have in Sabah and Sarawak are a testament to our empathy for society's needs, particularly for those who are unable to access justice due to logistical constraints. By being empathic, I do not mean it as to allow your emotions to dictate your decisions. Rather, it involves an understanding and the realization of how your decisions might affect the lives of those who seek justice before you. Empathy leads to greater compassion, particularly for vulnerable groups such as children and victims of abuse. By embodying these WISE principles, the legal fraternity can, in my humble opinion, ensure that justice is not only done but seen to be done with fairness, respect, and compassion. Distinguished guests, the foundation of justice can only be strengthened if we stand united. Regardless of the role you play in the legal profession, we must work together to achieve our common goal, which is to uphold justice. While 2025 may present us with new challenges, I am confident that the legal fraternity in Sabah and Sarawak can reach even greater heights if we are committed to working together. Let me echo the words of the Right Honourable the Chief Justice of Malaysia, Yang Maharif Tun Tengku Maimun Tuan Mat, when her leadership gave the following parting advice at the opening of the legal year in Putrajaya 2 days ago. Quote, all of us who are serving as judges, practicing at the bar or even serving in public service will one day slow down to the point where we cannot carry out our current duties either due to law or by age. Let us retire gracefully and happily, knowing full well that we left the institution far better than we found it. We should gladly sit from afar and beam proudly at its growth rather than viewing it with concern that the judicial institution will turn into nothing but a mere shell of its former glory. Close quote. Before I conclude, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the organizing committee for the opening of the legal year, led by the Registrar of the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak, the Registrar of the Subordinate Courts of Sabah and Sarawak, and the Director of the State Court of Sarawak for their dedication and untiring work in ensuring this event was a memorable experience for all of us. I also thank the Chief Registrar, Yang Bahagia Datuk Zamri bin Haji Bakar, for his exceptional effort in supporting us to ensure the success of this event in Kuching. I humbly ask for your understanding and to accept my apologies for any shortcomings in the organization of this year's OLY for the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak. Allow me to conclude my speech with a poem titled Court of Justice by Muhammad Muzammil. In the court of justice, hope is found for those who seek justice all around. The victims with tears in their eyes find solace and peace under their skies. A fair and impartial forum to be, where justice is served and all can see. The judge and jury, they all know the pain and suffering that victims show. For those who have been wronged and hurt, the court provides a place to assert rights and seek redress for all. The harm they have suffered, big or small. Through the journey, though the journey may be long and tough, the court of justice provides enough, a chance to heal and a chance to thrive for those who seek justice to come alive. So let us all work towards this goal, to ensure justice for every soul, for hope and healing to all extent, and a brighter future for all to be friends. Let us begin 2025 with renewed strength and finish the year with even greater resilience. I wish all of you and your family a fulfilling and prosperous year ahead. To those who celebrate the Chinese New Year in 19 days, I extend my heartfelt wishes for a blessed and joyful celebration in advance. May God bless you all. I now declare the legal year 2025 for Sabah and Sarawak open.
Announcing the departure of the Right Honorable Chief Justice of Malaysia, the Right Honorable President of the Court of Appeal of Malaysia, the Right Honorable Chief Judge of Malaya, the Right Honorable Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak, the Honorable Judges and Judicial Commissioners of the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of the open court proceeding. As we bring this momentous occasion to a close, and on behalf of the Committee of the Sabah and Sarawak Opening of Legal Year 2025, we would like to convey our heartfelt gratitude to all those in attendance today. We warmly invite you